Today we will discuss about the science of Thulasi. We all know Thulasi is a plant that we all worship. We all know the amount of importance that is being accorded to this herb, this leaf. But we need to understand the science behind it. The Vedas give a great importance and prominence to this leaf, and it says it is a divine leaf. So, let us see what are all the scientific reasons behind this holy leaf. There is now mounting evidence that Tulasi addresses physical, chemical, metabolic, and psychological stress through a unique combination of pharmacological actions. This is a finding by several research studies. Tulasi has been found to protect organs and tissues against chemical stress from pollutants like heavy metals and physical stress from prolonged physical exertion, ischemia, physical restraint, and exposure to cold, heat, or excessive noise. It has also been found that it counters the metabolic stress by normalizing the blood glucose, blood pressure, lipid levels, and the psychological stress through its positive effects on memory and cognitive functions. And it has enormous amount of anxiolytic and antidepressant properties. Its broad spectrum antimicrobial activity includes activity against a range of human and animal pathogens. I have now read to you the finding from the American Institute of Herbal Science. This is after an extensive research and study on several herbs around the world. And finally, they have declared that Tulasi is the incomparable one. Tulasi is the mother of nature, and it is declared as the mother medicine of nature or the queen of herbs. They have also described Tulasi as elixir of life. And they have further stated that Tulasi is without equal for both its medical and spiritual properties. Can we understand why Vedas many millenniums ago have come to this conclusion out of their wisdom, intuition, and divine knowledge? In India, we have adopted Tulasi into spiritual rituals and lifestyle practices that gives a vast array of health benefits. The emerging science reinforces our ancient Vedic wisdom that Tulasi is a tonic for the body, mind, and spirit. The hot and bitter taste of Tulasi is said to penetrate the deep tissues, the dry tissue secretions, and normalize the kapha and vata. Daily consumption of Tulasi prevents diseases, onset of diseases, promotes general health, well-being, and longevity, and assists in reducing the stress in daily life. Tulasi is also credited with giving luster to the complexion and sweetness to the voice and fostering the beauty. It enhances the intelligence, stamina, and a calm emotional disposition. It is recommended for a very wide range of treatment of conditions including anxiety, cough, asthma, diarrhea, fever, dysentery, arthritis, eye diseases, indigestion, hiccups, vomiting, whatnot. Further, it helps control the cardiac and genitourinary disorders, skin diseases, etc. etc. It is considered as a potent adaptogen because it has a unique combination of pharmacological actions that promote the well being and resilience. With the concept of adaptogen, this Tulasi helps with the adaptation to stress and promotion of homeostasis. Homeostasis is a very important requirement for keeping the body in a proper condition. It has a very unique combination of actions that include antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antimalarial, antidiarrheal, antioxidant, anti-cataract, anti-inflammatory, chemiopreventive, radioprotective, hepatoprotective, neuroprotective, cardioprotective, anti-diabetic, antihypertensive, anti-carcinogenic, analgesic, antipyretic, anti-allergic, control of nervous system, acting as a nervous system depressant, memory enhancement, anti-tussive, anti-thyroid, anti-fertility, anti-ulcer, anti-emetic, anti-arthritic, anti-stress, etc. etc. These actions help the body and mind cope with a wide range of chemical, physical, and emotional stresses and restores the physiological and the psychological balance. Many of the physiological benefits can be attributed to its ability to assist the body with the internal housekeeping and protection of the body from toxin induced damage. These functions are attributed to Tulasi's high content of phenolic compounds and antioxidant properties. The Krishna Tulasi is supposed to be having the most beneficial content of all these things we have listed. It protects the cellular organelles, membranes by mopping up damaging free radicals caused by lack of oxygen and other toxic agents. It also helps to prevent cancers caused by toxic compounds by reducing DNA damage and inducing apoptosis in cancerous cells, thereby reducing the growth of experimental tumors and enhancing survival. The ability of Tulasi to prevent liver, kidney, and brain injury by protecting against genetic, immune, and cellular damage caused by pesticides, pharmaceuticals, and industrial chemicals has been very well established. It is protecting us from the toxic effect of heavy metals such as lead, arsenic, cadmium, chromium, and mercury, and also from the toxic effects of radiation. Tulasi exerts its radioprotective effects by scavenging free radicals and reducing the oxidative cellular and chromosomal damage inducing by radiation. thereby reducing organ damage. Prolonged physical exertion and exposure to excessive cold, heat, or noise disturb our homeostasis, inducing physiological and metabolic stress. When the capacity to adapt to these stresses is exceeded, maladaptation occurs, resulting in damage to biochemical pathways, organ function, and health. Now, Tulasi protects us against these confusions. The metabolic syndrome, known as prediabetes or as syndrome X, includes the deadly quartet of obesity, hypertension, high cholesterol, and poor glucose regulation. This is prevented by Tulasi. Tulasi reduces the blood glucose and corrects abnormal lipid profiles and protects the liver and kidneys from metabolic damage caused by high glucose levels. It prevents weight gain, hyperglycemia, etc., and protects the organ and blood vessels. Tulasi protects the liver, kidney, and pancreatic cells from free radical damage and inflammation. It protects our urinary tract, skin from various infections, our body from fever, cholera, tuberculosis, etc. Its high anti-anxiety and antidepressant properties is comparable to diazepam and antidepressant drugs. It protects us against age-induced memory deficits. It reduces the stress, anxiety, and depression, and it also creates a placebo effect that improves our general well-being and also reduces our sexual problems, sleep problems, and forgetfulness and exhaustion. Tulasi is recommended as a preventive measure to enhance the ability to adapt to both psychological and physical stress. Regular consumption of Tulasi, either as Tulasi leaf or Tulasi water or Tulasi tea, is comparable to a regular practice of yoga, which nourishes and nurtures the body, mind, and spirit, and at the same time fostering a sense of relaxation and well-being. This is like a liquid yoga. It has a calming effect that leads to clarity of thought along with a more relaxed and calm disposition. As a result, our cognitive and memory gets enhanced. In Vedic culture, Tulasi is worshipped as a goddess, and every part of Tulasi is revered and considered sacred, including the leaves, stem, flower, root, seeds, and oil. Even the surrounding soil is worshipped because it has been found to harbor very highly beneficial entophytic fungi, which is considered to be an aspect of divine. That is why no household in Hinduism is considered incomplete without a Tulasi plant, particularly in the middle of the house. Its aroma links the householder to the divine while at the same time repelling negative energies. It is integrated into day-to-day life through a morning and evening ritual and other spiritual and purification practices that involves our body, mind, and spiritual enhancement. In addition, Tulasi is mixed with water and is offered as a holy water, as in Greek, in temples. Tulasi seeds are attached to a string, and the string of beads is used for mantra japa, which has a direct impact because we are touching the bead and reciting a mantra, and therefore we are connecting the body, mind, and spirit. The cultivation and reverence of the Tulasi plant not only serves a religious purpose, it directly connects us with the creative power of nature. Tulasi is the highest creative power of nature. Connection with this creative power of nature is profoundly healing and life affirming. That is why today in Western culture, this nature deficit is being addressed by Tulasi plant cultivation in mass scale. Touching, eating Tulasi enhances our consciousness to a very high level, which improves our intellect and wisdom. That is why Vedas call Tulasi as a Jnana Tulasi. That is why Tulasi is worshipped. Now, this will indicate why we are worshipping Tulasi at home, why we are advised to grow Tulasi at home, and why we are advised to do a ritual around the Tulasi by going around the Tulasi plant, by lighting a lamp in the morning and evening and prostrating before. Because Tulasi plant emits high positive energies and vibrations. Tulasi plant absorbs good energies and it repels negative energies. Wherever a Tulasi plant is there, no negative energy can come near it. Tulasi plant protects us from gamma rays, X-rays and ultraviolet rays, which is a great protection physically, mentally. And this positive vibration which it emanates, when we go near it, our body gets absorbed and we are able to remove the negative energies within us. And the holy water that is being offered in all the temples, in fact most of the temples, is Tulasi water, because that way our Vedic culture enabled the benefits of Tulasi to reach every man, including a common man. Even a person who cannot afford to grow a Tulasi plant at home, he has access to the benefit of Tulasi by going to a temple and having the prasad of Tulasi holy water. Here, let us recall one very great Puranic story. In Bhagavatam, there is a story when Rukmini and Satyabhama were fighting who is loving Krishna more. Both were saying their love for Krishna is much more than the other. Now, how to find out, how to resolve this issue? So they themselves came to a conclusion. They said, let Krishna sit in a Tulabara. Tulabara meaning that there will be a scale, on one side Krishna has to sit. And they have to shower their love in some form. In whatever form they have love for Krishna, they should come and shower the love on the other side of the scale of the balance. So they first decided who has to be the first one to do. Both of them said they will do first. Then there was a draw. In the draw, it was decided that Satyabhama will have the first option. So therefore Satyabhama brought in all her jewels, and put it one by one on the scale. No, still Krishna was, who is on the other side, he was still at the bottom. It was not possible to balance. The side where Satyabhama was putting all her gold, jewels, ornaments, gems, no, it could not balance Krishna. So she did not know what to do. Then she said, all right, let me see what Rukmini does. So she removed all the ornaments, and then Rukmini came. She came with a folded hand, and she had a small tulasi leaf, and she prayed to Krishna and put the tulasi leaf on the other side of the balance. The greatest wonder happened. In fraction of a second, Krishna came, the scale on which side Krishna was sitting came up, and the Krishna and the tulasi plant balanced, and everybody was shocked. Why it should have happened? The Puranas ascribe this to the devotion of Rukmini. Yeah, Rukmini's devotion is one important aspect. But in my opinion, this Purana establishes the Vedic Rishis' very clear message that a small leaf of Tulasi is more valuable than tons and tons of gold. This is what this Purana conveys. All the scientific studies, what we discussed earlier, is just an elaboration of the simple fact what our Vedic rishis found out of their wisdom many millennia ago. So, Tulasi is a leaf that we should not only worship, we should incorporate it in our day to day life, either in the form of touching, going near the plant, eating, or drinking the water, holy water. Tulasi is an elixir of life, Amrita, that is created by God to protect the human beings. It protects our physical and mental well being and enhances our spiritual well being. Om Namo Vasudevaya.